and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So, before we pull up these three videos, I want to acknowledge that we talked about how activists and community organizers were confronting Senator Joe Manchin on his fancy yacht, and he was talking down to him as like a friendly grandpa. But we all know that Manchin and his little friendly mannerisms, we know where he stands with Medicare for all, universal basic income, federal jobs guarantee act. And let's face it, Manchin, while he was putting on a mask, probably looked very uncomfortable because here he was on his little fancy yacht, and he didn't expect the working class voters to interrupt him or make him feel uncomfortable. But I want to let you all know, here's my opinion with these politicians. We have to hold them accountable. They work for us, not the other way around. They're not the lords, they're not the kings, they're not the queens, they're not princes or princesses, people who we should grovel to. They're elected representatives. They're supposed to represent the people. And when they screw up, it is the people's job to confront them and vote them out. Now, we know there's a lot of problems in electoral politics. That's why, number one, we have to look at ballot initiatives, really building strong activist community organizations that will actually, again, help build infrastructure so we can look at supporting third parties, doing general strikes, and also at the same time, too, holding these politicians' feet to the fire, literally, so they never again forget that they are the servants and we are the masters. Now, recently, over the weekend, Senator Sinema, that's right, the activist who was then former Green Party, who then ran as a progressive and is now in the United States Senate, was confronted by activists for her failure to follow through with any of her policies or her promises. Now, we've talked about how Senator Sinema, again, takes a lot of corporate donations. She's literally a Saturday morning cartoon villain. And when people do confront her, she, of course, posts these fancy pictures on Instagram with her drinking some sort of fancy organic drink, whatever it is. Maybe it could be gluten-free, but with a ring that says F off. Well, here's the thing. The people are starting to push back. So we have three videos of heroic activists doing the right thing. Now, there's people on social media saying, well, no, this wasn't appropriate. No. We have to make these politicians' lives uncomfortable because they got gold-plated health care, they got great benefits, all the while they're screwing us over. Faze, if we can, let's play this first video. I think it's going to be pretty hilarious.
Okay, I'll be back.
Sinema, we want to talk to you real quick. Can we talk to you real quick?
Hi, actually, I am heading out.
Right now is a real moment that our people need in order for us to be able to talk about what's really happening. We need a Build Back Better plan right now.
We knocked on doors. We need solutions to the Build Back Better plan. We ask the solutions that we need.
We knocked on. I don't think Senator Sinema is going in there to take a dump, even though I think she is literally full of crap. Because this is an elected United States senator who's supposed to be a progressive, but she is, again, not in favor of lowering prescription drug costs. So she didn't go in there to take a crap. She went in there to check out her approval ratings. Let's play the rest of this video.
On doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
We need 7 million citizenship for 7 million. We need the Build Back Better plan right now.
My name is Blanca. I was brought here to
Pause it. Again, just one more humorous note to this, and that is, that was probably maybe Sinema exiting her way out. There might have been a secret entrance to get out of that uncomfortable situation, and I'm glad that she felt uncomfortable, because again, when you fail to deliver with your policies and your promises, your voters, your constituents, have every right to be angry and to confront you. These politicians, for a long time, have been treated with kid gloves by corporate media and blue checkmark people and vote blue no matter who people. Because, oh no, if we don't have Democrats, there'll be Republicans. With people like Sinema, who needs Republicans? If we can, let's play the rest of the video. I apologize. Last interruption.
United States when I was 3 years old. And in 2010, my grandparents both got deported because of SB 1070. And I'm here because I definitely believe that we need a pathway to citizenship. My grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to go to Mexico and visit him because there is no pathway to citizenship. And if we have the opportunity to pass it right now, then we need to do it, because there's millions of undocumented people just like me who share the same story or even worse things that happen to them because of SB 1070 and because of anti-immigrant legislation. And this is the opportunity to pass it right now. We need to hold you accountable to what you told us, what you promised us that you were going to pass when we knocked on doors for you. It's not right.
I'm a survivor of human trafficking, and it's because of the lack of worker protections that we don't have in the gig economy. I need you to stand by workers. Lots of people who are like me became homeless and
Okay. Before we pull up the next video, these activists, there's people on social media saying how dare they make Sinema feel uncomfortable. Well, how dare Sinema leave her constituents behind? How dare Sinema break her promises? Look, again, we live in a democracy. Oh, I'm sorry. Technically, we're supposed to live in a democracy. In theory, we're supposed to live in a democracy. But what I found absolutely disgusting was the utter silence. Yes, you heard Flushing and Sinema not even acknowledging people who knocked on doors for her, people who had hope for her. But again, how did Sinema reward their faith and trust? By, again, getting fancy donations, getting a high-paid internship at a winery, all the while voting down against a $15 minimum wage increase, being against Medicare for all or lowering of prescription drug prices. This is who Senator Sinema is, someone who hides behind identity politics or hides behind the quote-unquote Democratic talking points of saying, oh, well, let's say things that the progressives and independents will like and they'll vote for me. You see, this is a lesson. And I'm very glad that we're learning this from Senator Sinema. She's actually teaching us that everyone and anyone has the ability to be corrupt and sell out. And Sinema is the example of a true crap piece sellout. She's the one who should supposedly be correct on the issues, but she's choosing not to. She's siding with Senator Joe Manchin of all people. So that tells you that maybe from the very beginning, Sinema, even before she got into politics, even before she even ran as a Green Party candidate, was always willing to be corrupt. Maybe she always was this vulture, this scavenger person. Did you not hear those stories from those activists? On how, again, one person couldn't even visit her grandfather as he passed away because, again, someone like Senator Sinema is just sitting on her hands. Here's the thing about Senator Sinema. She doesn't care about the issues. We have every right as voters to confront all of our lawmakers like this. They don't deserve to be comfortable. They're the ones that have gold-plated healthcare. They're the ones that have benefits. They're the ones that constantly get paid. They're the ones that, again, are treasured by media. But what happens to the rest of us? There are millions of Americans being evicted from their homes. There are millions of Americans struggling with student debt and medical debt. But what are people like Senator Sinema doing? Not caring and giving nothing but silence. We have another video that we want to play, again, from these heroic activists, and you can find these links in our show notes in the description box below. I think it's very important that we do acknowledge, again, the hard work that these activists are doing, because these were the people that knocked on the door for Senator Sinema. But again, I guess Senator Sinema's only option is, again, just to hide in crap.
Will you support the Build Back Better plan so that we can have justice and solutions that we need for immigration, labor, climate change?
Pass the bill! Build back better! 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 Pass the bill!
Build back better, pass the bill. Build back better, pass the bill.
Build back better! Pass the bill! Build back better! Pass the bill! Build back better!
All right. Well, now look, I have my own opinion about this $3.5 trillion budget plan. I think it could be more. Let's face it, $3.5 trillion is not enough. It needs to be higher. At the bare minimum, $10 trillion should be invested into our infrastructure. And again, that's just scratching at the surface. We really need to truly do a large investment into the United States infrastructure plan. But the thing is, people like Senator Sinema want to cut, and screw people over. And the thing is, we have to remind these politicians that we will always be back. They don't deserve to sleep comfortably. They don't deserve to be working comfortably in their offices. Because at the end of the day, while millions of Americans are struggling day in, day out, our lawmakers are okay. They get to have retirement, benefits, gold-plated health care, praised by the media, but they're not doing their job. I've said this before on the show. If you're a diehard Democratic voter or a diehard Republican voter, here's the real truth about these crap-filled politicians like Senator Sinema, who, again, probably, I don't know how she got out of that bathroom in the first place when she should have been flushed down the toilet. I know, I'm being mean, but whatever. Your lawmaker, 90% of the time, is on the phone calling their donors so they can get more money, so they can have money to run for their campaign, so when they get reelected, they write more legislation to help out their donors, so they go right back to that little phone and call their donors again and beg for more money. It's a sick, sick, sick system where, again, nothing gets done, nothing fundamentally changes, all the while people like Sinema grow fat and rich. And again, these politicians, so long as they know that they're going to be okay, so long as they know that no one's going to push back, they're going to keep on doing this. Those activists have every right to come back again and again and again and again to knock on her door, to protest in front of her homes, to protest in front of her little internship. Because again, Sinema is the one who failed her constituents, her people. We got another video as well where, again, these same activists are confronting Senator Sinema. And here's where some of her team members, Senator Sinema's team members, start coming out. Let's play this video.
Back the bill! Sinema, escucha, estamos en la lucha! Sinema, escucha, estamos en la lucha!
How you guys doing?
Back the bill! Back the bill!
You guys have been asked to leave. You guys need to leave the property. Okay?
Why? Why?
We're heading that way.
We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back!
Can we do a trespass warning so they can come back?
Unafraid! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Back the bill! Back the bill! Back the bill! Sinema, escucha, estamos en la lucha! Sinema, escucha, estamos en la lucha!
All right, let's pause it.
Back the bill!
Let's pause it right here. That's the last of the videos, and I urge everyone to check out the rest of the links in the show notes and description box below. Here's the real truth about someone like Senator Sinema again. Something that we should all take a real long time to really reflect on. Senator Sinema, when she's not elected when she's not running for her office, she doesn't care about progressive issues. It's only when she's running for re-election does she care about, oh, the kids in cages, or the fact that, oh no, Americans are struggling with student debt or medical debt. Only then will she put out those honey words of, I care about these issues. You got to help me get into office so I can fight hard for you. Let's be really clear here. We covered this on the show as well. When it came down to lowering drug costs, Senator Sinema got a lot of corporate donations from Big Pharma and other corporate interests. She is against any kind of progressive change. So that kind of reaction that you're seeing from the activists, what I encourage is that more of those activists show up every day, from 20 to 40 to 60 to 100 to eventually it's thousands, to where Sinema can't ignore her constituents. See, right now, Sinema thinks she can get away with it. She thinks that she's untouchable, that somehow, again, hiding behind a DNC or pretending to be a progressive, that she'll be okay. She deserves to be voted out, but it's just more than just voting out. The people need to get out there in the streets. The people need to start pushing back, and the people need to start getting angry. Because let's face it, All of our lawmakers, from Democrat to Republican, and even the progressives that are in office too. They belong in the toilet. And Sinema, she says all these words, but when push comes to shove, when she finally has to answer to people, she hides in the bathroom like a piece of crap coward that she is. That's what we saw there. She hid. She didn't do anything and say anything. She hid like a coward. That's how weak Senator Sinema is. She could say things on the Senate floor and do her little curtsy thumbs down. But that's it. She's filled with crap. And she will never fight back. She will never have the courage or the strength to really fight for progressive issues. She ran and hid in the bathroom. That's who Senator Sinema is. And those activists have more courage than her because at least they're going to fight back and push back.